Some injury doubts could cost Hull City in a vital game against Leicester at the MKM Stadium. Hello there and welcome back to the HullCityFanCentral YouTube channel. Today I'll be giving you my preview, prediction and everything that you need to know ahead of Hull City's clash against the Foxes at the MKM Stadium. Tuesday night football back once again at the MKM Stadium underneath the lights. And it could possibly be a bit of an interesting battle as Hull City, as I said in the opening, have two big injury concerns heading into this one. Two key players who are most likely 99% sure they will not be involved in the starting lineup, most likely not involved in the matchday squad at all. So let's crack straight into that with our injury update. So this is following off the back of the Birmingham City game that we won at the weekend, but there was some cost within that win. Of course, alongside the injuries, there will be no Sergei Yakirovich in the dugout for this one, as he suffered a yellow card and will be in the stands for this one, as he's had 3 bookings now this campaign. So that means that he will be watching on from the stands, will not be in the dugout, which I don't presume will cost too much down to this, as we do have a pretty good backroom staff behind him, and I'm sure that he can relay stuff, and they've got a game plan heading into this one as well. So I don't fret too much on that point. Where we should be fretting is the fact that Louis Coyle will be missing this game, most likely, and possibly missing the next game, as obviously he was subbed off in the win against Birmingham City and replaced by Cody Drammer. It's hoping that this injury, a hamstring injury once again, but hoping it's nothing too serious. It was a hamstring injury that cost him the start of his season, but it's expected that his absence will only be for Tuesday night, of course, the game against Leicester City. So we will wait and see on how that one shapes out. A scan was meant to be happening today. We haven't heard the results of that scan, and presumably we'll hear that post-match tomorrow. Now, that isn't even the biggest injury blow that we'll have heading into this one. The main one, of course, Hull City's star man, Ollie McBurney, will be without in the squad for this game, as he suffered a minor, what they are saying, a minor knee injury in the win against Birmingham City, which was the reason why he got subbed off in the game fairly early on for Ollie McBurney standards. He was subbed off in about the 70th, within the 70th minute range, I believe. So it was a minor knee injury, they are calling it. There is a chance that he will be played, but they are not going to risk it, which is the sensible thing to do. So it's seeming like Ollie McBurney will not be playing in this one due to a sensible concern rather than anything too far. He could possibly be on the bench and make a little cameo later on, as I say, do the NS Destan role, come on for 10 minutes towards the end of the game. But I think maybe just giving him the full game to rest and then utilise him again on Saturday against Charlton Athletic will probably be the best case scenario for all parties involved here. You want Ollie McBurney fit throughout the entire season. If that's meaning he's going to miss one game on a Tuesday night against Leicester City at home, so be it. I'd rather have him miss one game than a possible 6+ games if this knee injury develops. So that will be a big miss in this game, but it's not without any gravitas to it on the wider scale of things for Hull City. Elsewhere, of course, Elliot Matazo, Mohamed Baloumi, John Lundstrom, they're all not in available contention. We know about Elliot Matazo, Mohamed Baloumi, going to be a bit more of a longer stretch. John Lundstrom, we're looking about 5 to 8 games or something now. And Casey Palmer, well, he will not be within the matchday squad now for about 8 to 10 weeks through injury. Of course, this is very spectacleless. Of course, we know Casey Palmer, he's not come to the correct terms with Hull City's manager Sergei Yakirovich at the moment, wasn't prepared for a football match and all that sort of stuff, and is now seemed to be injured. Whether that is an actual injury or whether that's sort of a front put out by Sergei Yakirovich, we're not too sure. I'm going to take it as it is an injury. I think there was some sort of rumblings that he did pick up something whilst he was out on international duty, so we'll take that as it is, of course, until we know more stuff about what's happened behind the scenes with Casey Palmer and of course, Sergei Kirich will, of course, bring that to you on the channel here. But at the moment, we understand that all that's happened is Casey Palmer wasn't ready for a game. Sergei Kirich wanted to use him, and there's been a bit of disagreement there. And of course, Sergei Kirich, he's not a man that you want to disagree with. So let's move forwards into my predicted starting 11, powered by friends over at Fanhub. Now, this starting 11 has changed up a little bit, of course, with some of the big news that we have received, which meant that some of the sliding pieces have had to move around. So I've gone for what I believe Sergei Kirich, or should I rather say Hull City's backroom staff, will go for this game. So don't worry, Sergei Kirich will be picking the matchday squad. He just won't be in the dugout for this one. So of course it will be Ivo Panda in net. Sensible choice. He is the man to go between the sticks for City. A back line up of Cody Drama to come in to replace the injured Louis Coyle. And then following up with that is John Egan, Charlie Hughes, who will most likely be wearing the captain's armband in this one, as he is the vice captain for the Tigers, and Ryan Giles over at left back. Ahead of that, it's the same central defensive midfielder partnership that we saw against Birmingham City, with Regan Slater, the 50-grand man, who is absolutely fantastic against Birmingham City. I mean, his diving header, he could dive for all he wanted. It was a magnificent header, that. And of course, partnered up with Amir Hadzaimitrovic, who I thought played a pretty good game against Birmingham City on Saturday. Ahead of them, it will be Darko Gayabi, I feel, playing the more attacking midfielder role, as things do slide around along that front line. I don't think Liam Miller's going to get his first start back off the injury. It could possibly happen, but I don't think they are going to try and risk and rush back too much with that. He certainly will be a candidate to come on for probably first or second substitute off the bench if needed. And then ahead of that, it'll be Joe Geltart, David Akintola out on the wide, and then up top, Kyle Joseph. I mean, Casey Palmer's injured. If he was starting up top, I'd be worried. No, Kyle Joseph starting up top. Of course, you've got Enes Destan in there, who's a possible candidate to start up top. I don't think they'd want to do that as well. I think they're happy with the role that Enes Destan has at the moment, especially his knee's still strapped up. We don't know what his limitations are there. So I think that's what Sergei Kirich will roll out. There is, of course, the possibility of some sliding pieces to move around, and we will wait and see what happens from there. Last meetings between both sides. Well, we had a pretty memorable last couple of matches against them. Of course, that 2-2 draw at the MKM Stadium last time out between Hull City and Leicester City was an absolutely fantastic game. Fabio Carvalho scored. I mean, he should have scored too. I think he missed a penalty in that game as well. Of course, Jamie Vardy, who's no longer at Leicester anymore, he grabbed a brace in that game. It was a back and forwards game, really exciting game, that one. And of course, the time before that over at King Power Stadium was a fantastic 1-0 away win for the Tigers. Liam Delap, I believe, scored the sole goal in that game in a fantastic win. Hull City really relentless in that one. A brilliant win there. We'll gloss over that club friendly, the 4-0 one. The Corendon Cup, I believe it was. So I'm not sure if the Corendon Cup will be on the line again. We'll wait and see, get a bit of confirmation on that. So form heading into this game. Well, Leicester City, well, they've been very draw happy this season. More draw happy than I think I've seen any Leicester side in years previous. And when you're looking at last 5 games, what Hull City have gained 10 points and Leicester have gained themselves 7. So Hull City have gained more points over the last 5, which is corresponding into the table, which we'll come to in a second. But Leicester very draw happy at the moment. They've only won they've won the same amount of games, I believe, as Hull City have this season. But a lot of that staggered at the start of the season, and now it's, of course, they have got that 3-1 away win against Swansea City, but last time out they were leading 1-0. Portsmouth came back, tied that one up. 1-1 against Wrexham, 1-1 against West Bromwich Albion, and a 0-0 draw against Coventry is a very good result compared to how Coventry are doing this season. But let's not forget, Hull City drew against Coventry 0-0 at Coventry to kickstart the season, which, I mean, that's looking like the best result of the season. So let's go into that table that I mentioned. Of course, it's funny to look at it this early on in the season, but we will do nonetheless. 4 wins apiece for both sides, but the fact that Leicester City are 2 points ahead of us is down to them losses getting converted into draws. Leicester City, a very defensively sure squad. We'll see how that one fares against the Hull City attack. Of course, without an Ollie McBurney, but there still is them pieces within there that have been helping produce for Hull City this season. Let's not forget, Ollie McBurney hasn't scored in the last couple of matches for Hull City. It has been other key players surrounding the squad. So it'll be an interesting matchup to come into this one. Of course, Hull City sitting 2 points out of the playoff places, of course. Very early in the season, it's funny to look at it. Don't look at the table too seriously until Christmas, but keep the good results going, and we'll see how we can project ourselves up this table, looking maybe, dare I say it, to be having a top half of the table finish this season and maybe even higher. But of course, too early to say that. We'll see how the rest of the season shapes out for the Tigers. So player to watch out for this game. I mean, there was really only one pick, and he's been a very key player for Leicester City this season, and that's Abdul Fatawu, of course, the attacking midfielder winger for Leicester City. Grabbed an assist, the assist in the last game, actually, for them. Where he played out on the right wing. He has been known to play through the middle as well. So very versatile player. 21 years old he is, from Ghana. This season he's boasting, in the 10 matches he's played, 3 goals, 2 assists. He's also been the best player, the most consistent player on Leicester City's squad. Top scorer, top assist maker as well. Plays out on both wings and has also played a little bit through the middle. Very, very good player. He's been at Leicester now for a couple of seasons, so we will see how he shapes up into this game, but certainly a player to watch out for Hull City, especially coming down that wing. He's got some pace, he can get crosses in, he can go alone, he can get shots in himself. He's going to be one of them ones that's going to be a bit of a relentless force for the entirety of the game, I feel, for Hull City. So, score prediction heading into this one. I think it's going to be another 2-2 draw at the MKM Stadium in this matchup against Hull City versus Leicester City. Of course, without big man Ollie McBurney, I don't think that Hull City will be spanging in the goals and making a bit of a dominant affair. Of course, defensively wise, we are still progressing there, and the goals can still come from elsewhere within the squad. I actually think that I don't think I've updated my graphics, so I think next photo is going to be that of Ollie McBurney. It is. He's not going to score unless a miracle happens and he does start the game or he does come off the bench. But as I said earlier, it'd be best case scenario to not have him playing in this game. So no goals for Ollie McBurney in this one. Instead, I do think Joe Geltart will grab a goal, and let's, off the top of my head, I'll say that David Akintola grabs his second for Hull City, making that 2-2 draw. So I'll leave you that photo of Sergei Kirich as I ask you to let me know down in the comments what your prediction is there for this game, who you think will score, and what you think the scoreline will be. Hopefully it's a Hull City win. Of course, it's going to be a very interesting matchup at the MKM Stadium as Hull City take on Leicester City against two sides that have started the season quite well. Leicester City maybe a bit better than Hull City, but Hull City are getting the good results going and trying to make it 3 wins in a row, which hasn't been done for God knows when. So yeah, I'll be keeping you updated here on the HullCityFanCentral YouTube channel with everything surrounding Hull City, so much more. Of course, I'll have my reaction video out after the game tomorrow, so stay tuned on the channel by liking and subscribing, and I'll see you over there. Up the Tigers, go on.